Hey there, Starship here with a Warcraft 3 commentary. Today's game features Foggy, the Ukrainian Night Elf player, one of the best in Europe, one of the best in the world, you could argue, and the Russian player Happy, the best player in Europe and maybe one of the absolute best in the world as well. Duking off here on Twisted Meadows. Twisted Meadows is a very interesting map, especially for this matchup. A lot of your spawn location kind of determines what is and what isn't viable. So this is an asymmetrical map. Foggy has spawned at a location that doesn't have a mercenary camp access, so it looks like he wants to go straight Huntresses as a response, which is to just build a lot of wisps, then get a Hunter's Hall and Ancient of War when you can. Meanwhile, Happy doing a pretty classic Ted Fiend opener here, so the early graveyard, not going to invest too much into ghouls, rather put his resources into a quick tech and then a Fiend follow-up. I'm kind of surprised by Happy. I almost expect him to play ghouls on Twisted Meadows, just because it's the more aggressive option in case there is some high-level creep camp being crept like down here. You can rush it with ghouls. Meanwhile, we do have the Keeper first for Foggy, which is one of the reasons why Happy might not want to go for ghouls, because Foggy tends to play the Keeper, and Keeper is very, very good against a ghoul opener. So yeah, we actually see a Tree of Life first here from Foggy. So Tree of Life first can be a huge gamble, but if there's any map that you want to do it on, it's this one. It's such a big map, it's so hard for your opponent to scout every little nook and cranny there to find the tree. So if you're going to do it, Twisted Meadows is a good map for it, and Happy's a good player to do it against if you expect this kind of fast tech style, because this means low aggression, it means low map presence from Happy. He's really putting everything into this tech rather. So a Tree of first, a little micro battle here. Happy might not want to invest. No. He fakes the coil. Foggy builds and cancels the shop as a reaction. But yeah, like I said, I mean, there's not going to be a ton of aggression on the map, so this is actually really, really safe. If you could somehow foresee that your opponent was going to play this build order on Twisted Meadows, then I think Tree of Life first might be just one of the best openers you can go for. But oh, look at Happy. He actually finds it. So Happy is very, very diligent with his scouting. He's playing against a very creative player. He knows Foggy can do a lot of different things. So he's just using these skeletons to check these kind of corner spaces. You're checking the expansions, labs, and he finds the Tree of Life first. And this gives Happy a ton of information. It looks like he's actually going double crypt as a response. So he wants to go gargoyles. Never mind, he cancels it. So he wants to go back to his normal plan. I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe he didn't realize it was a keeper. He didn't really want to play gargoyles as a keeper, because the Force of Nature and the Entangling Roots are very, very powerful in the mid and late game if there's no dispel. And if you go gargoyles, you're just not going to have that much dispel for a long time. So he cancels that plan, but it's still a ton of useful information for Happy, because if you know that there's a Tree of Life first right here, you know that there's no Ancient War anywhere here on the map. You know there's no units coming for a little while. It really just gives you a lot of information about what your opponent can and can't be doing right now. And as we see, like, the only thing Foggy really can do is creep these little green camps while waiting for that tree. And he's actually not even going for Hunter's build. He's going straight for Archers. This is a little risky to not invest into any Huntresses at all. It's a very fragile army right now, and he only has the 2-3 Archers right now, level 1 Keeper. So if this would get creep jacked, he could be in a lot of trouble. He doesn't. Oh, he actually has 2 wisps to repair. That's very smart. So in case something does go bad, he has a lot of healing, repairing at his hands. 3 wisps even. But again, the fast archers make sense, because we do have the Fiend build as we saw here, an instant tier 3 from Happy. So really investing into Huntresses kind of plays into the favor of the Fiend player, because the piercing damage is going to add up, and in a pretty short while, those Huntresses are going to be completely hard countered, whereas Archers are really, really good against Fiends. They last really well. They don't take any damage from them, really. I mean, they don't do any damage to Fiends either, but in conjunction with the Keeper here, it's going to be a lot better to have the Archers than to have the Huntresses, as well as the fact that the Archers creep a lot faster, because if he would have gone for Huntress build, he would have had like 1 Huntress here. It'd take forever to creep this. But he already has those 4 Archers, he has those summons, he can creep really, really fast with those Archers. I like it. I like that he didn't get any Huntresses, and he actually teched pretty fast as well. So a pretty greedy opening in general from Foggy, but it makes sense against a player like Happy on a map like Twisted Meadows. You really want to eke out any advantage you can get, and we do have that pendant here, so it's an amazing drop for Foggy. Would have been even better if it was Gargs coming, because that would be endless entangles, but whatever second hero he picks up, he will definitely transfer this. Unless it's a Demon Hunter, then he'll probably keep it on the Keeper. Meanwhile, Happy resigning himself to just creeping. So his decision making here was either contest this as much as possible with like the double crypt Garg that we saw, but now he switched into more of a, okay, this expansion is going to go up. It's going to kick in for a little bit, but I'm going to hit it hard. I'm going to hit it hard here with tier 3 when I have Orb and Destroyer. So until those key components are in place, there's no way that Happy can fight this. There's no way you can really fight against the Keeper in general, level 3 especially. Oh wow, look at that drop. Perfect drop. There's no way you can fight against this without Dispel. So Happy knows this. He's just doing what he can to creep up as much as he can until that tier 3 kicks in, until those Destroyers kick in. That's when he can go out and really take a fight. And Foggy just barely misses the creeping that's going on. And perfect timing from Happy. I mean, he returns to his base just in time. This Keeper is not going to achieve really anything. But it does scare Happy. If there are archers or huntresses nearby, then this is very, very scary. One root is basically one kill. But we do actually see the Demon Hunter second, so Demon Hunter second for mana burn, a very good way to control the undead heroes, not let them spiral out of control in the late game. You can have that mana burn to shut them down, which means this pendant has kind of gone to waste, but it's definitely going to keep it on the Keeper. He actually opts for a level 2 Force of Nature rather than level 2 Entangle. Not sure about that, but with the pendant it does make more sense. He has a lot of mana to cast spells with, so he might as well go for the more expensive one. But he's more or less just kind of feeding that experience to Happy, three treants for free. Still though, buying time, distracting, and keeping tabs more importantly. So, you know, Foggy knows that this is going on right now, so he's very comfortable just creeping these pretty big camps with his army. And we are transitioning into mass Dryads. So tier 2, very defensive, Ancient War and Ancient Protector. Looks like you might want to move them even further or further behind. Yeah, further behind. Ooh, Linehood, another great item here. So +2 armor, a permanent protection scroll on the entire army of Happy. Bringing the ghouls now, so looks like he wants to do this kind of creep into push style right now. He wants to secure this good item here, get closer to level 3 Lich. Could even get to level 3 if he moved away the Death Knight, but that's kind of risky to do. And we'll see. Yeah, it looks like the Destroyers have finished. Burrow's on the way. He does have food for a third hero, which we might see. Or he might just go for the Death Knight Lich push. Meanwhile, a lot of intelligence and Scroll of the Beast. So not the best items here for Foggy, honestly. Let's see what his reaction is to this push now. He kind of awkwardly staffed home his Demon Hunter. His army is kind of far behind and a bit hurt as well, so this push is scary, but the positioning on the buildings here is excellent. There is Nature's Blessing, so there's the third hero. So it is a Tinker, a very, very wise choice if you want to push and end the game. Proxy Shop, I like it. Instant potions. Burning that Death Knight. He has no mana potion either, so there's no coils for this Death Knight for this entire fight now. So the Nature's Blessing and Ancient War and Ancient Protector really bought a lot of time here. Let Foggy get into a good position, and here we go. The Lich should be the next target, or maybe the Tinker for mana burn. There we go. Just removing all of the mana he can, not committing to fight, because he doesn't really have to. As long as the Tree of Life isn't threatened, he doesn't have to fight. So he really wants to buy more time for more Dryads. It must be in full production. Yes, it is. So just waiting for more and more. Reinforcements obviously are much closer for Foggy than for Happy, so any time that's bought is extra units for Foggy and not extra units for Happy. The only downside is that, you know, the statue is slowly regenerating mana, so we do have one coil now, but the rest of the heroes are dry. And we kind of see this, the intention from Happy is to take a fight. He knows just as well as us that this isn't really going to go down, so he really wants to just bait Foggy into a fight, but Foggy's not taking it. He's actually moving up his second Ancient War that he had from creeping the lab here, so excellent building placement, excellent defensive positioning here from Foggy, and Happy has to back off. You just can't deal with that level 2 mana burn anymore, and the army is growing and growing, so there has to be a plan B. Plan B seems to be keep creeping, keep leveling up those heroes, try and get some amazing items. Khadgar's Gem is not an amazing item. He might even sell that, to be honest. Mana burn to start the fight, and Entangle, but there's a Destroyer. We'll see what Foggy's trying to do here, just trying to kill units, pick off anything he can, not let Happy creep. See if we can get the last hit. Nice, yeah. So Foggy just being as annoying as he can. He does have that staff, so the Demon Hunter shouldn't go down at any point. He can just mana burn, staff home, use the Moonwells. Strangely enough, he is keeping this +6 intelligence on the demon, which is probably just a mistake. There's been so much going on these past few minutes that he hasn't had time to think about the items or transferring them. We definitely will put that on the keeper. We do see the tier 3 actually, so it's a very, very good choice. You don't want to kind of get stuck on only Dryads, because then you can actually lose the game, even if you have the expansion for the rest of the game. If you get in this awkward position where you have 80 food Dryads and they've been banking for a bit and then go up to 60, 70, you can definitely still lose the game. So I love the fact that Foggy here is going tier 3. He wants to get the orb. He can transition into bears or giants. He can get more upgrades. He can get a third hero. There's a lot of options unlocked, maybe even chims if we keep seeing more and more abominations. Let's take a look at the main here. It's still just the one slaughterhouse, but... And no Disease Cloud yet. I think Disease Cloud is going to be a vital component to this late game army. Doesn't really have the wood for it yet, though. He'll definitely get that later. Excellent scouting from Foggy. Even an Ancient Protector, he knows, he really knows how Happy likes to play. Happy loves to kind of push and expand behind it. He loves to make that destroyer be threatening and then expand behind it. So Foggy's not going to let that happen. And he's also checking the other expansion. So he has very, very good scouting. He has all the information he needs to know that right now the game is looking great for Foggy. He just needs to make sure he doesn't die here. Really, really sucks to have to give up this creep camp, but he can't really contest it, not right now. He's still waiting for that tier 3 tech to really kick in. It is kind of a mix of bears and giants. And we'll definitely see an orb. No third hero yet. Really good upgrades, 2-1 so far, getting the third attack upgrade. Meanwhile, Happy's at 0-0. So, I mean, this game, I mean, it's hard to find any advantage for Happy other than the fact that those heroes are getting kind of out of control. And we have some decent items. Amulet Spell Shield is actually pretty good. I mean, blocking that mana burn. But other than that, not really anything crazy. So I don't think these heroes can carry just yet. But Happy, oh, he's going for that expansion. He's gonna actually Tree of Life. He's gonna get a Rude Awakening here, an Ancient Protector and a Constructing. He might. It's actually kind of dangerous if you get your Acolyte here and just tell it to build blindly. It walks down and starts the building. The Ancient can actually kill the gold mine. You don't have time to cancel it. So that's what Happy looked like he was doing, but he reacted in time to not actually start the building. And yeah, it's just, I mean, turning into a creep fest, which is really the only option for Happy, and has been for a long time. The expansion hasn't been pushable, so he just needs to get as much experience as he can. I mean, there's a Disease Cloud, very important. He is at 75 food now. They're actually at equal food, so this is a really nice timing push here. Backed off, crept, got his army together, but he won't have much fuel for anything more than this. Like, this is really almost a do or die push, but it's a very, very scary push indeed. Foggy TPing in, let's look at the positioning, kind of clumped up. That's always the issue with the Town Portal. Instant focus here on the bear, who are getting dispelled with Abolish. Moving the Dryads back, they're getting instantly targeted with the Fiends. Mana burn, getting blocked by the damage spell shield. Really, really nice for Happy to have more coils in this situation. Taunt going off. Abominations going for the Giants. Fiends really getting microed well here, going for the Dryads instantly, ignoring the taunt. This is one of Happy's trademarks, just instant focus on the Dryads. You have to pull them back, they're not a part of the fight anymore. And as soon as they do back off, he switches target to a hero. Bear's going down in the background. I mean, this is a very messy fight to deal with as Foggy. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really killed a single unit, I don't think. This Abomination's close to dying. And the only upside for Foggy here is that there is no mana potion. There's no more mana on the Death Knight. So maybe now he can get some kills with those 3 attack upgrades. But even that, I mean, those Dryads are just tickling the Fiends. They're not really doing any damage. And Moonwells are slowly going down. As soon as Foggy backs off, Happy just switch targets to the buildings. Bear's getting focused. We really see the power of the undead late game army and the power of Happy's micro here. I mean, this is pretty crazy. What's Foggy supposed to do even? Double level up, that's nice. Instant abolish here on the, or devour on these treants. Nice burrow micro. Is there a dust to reveal? Doesn't look like it. Taunt going off, but even taunt and a mountain giant in this case isn't too scary. Oh, Druid's getting caught up out of master form, getting picked off instantly. Giant's getting chased down. Wow. I'm pretty sure Happy didn't actually lose a single unit this fight. They were equal supply. Foggy had 3-1 upgrades against 0-0 or 1-0. And he just didn't lose a single unit. That's pretty scary. Yeah. Pretty demotivating. If I was Foggy, I'd be like, oh god, what more can I do other than have, 2 expansions? And Happy did move his expansion to the red spot over here, which hasn't been scouted, but is going to be scouted now. But expansions really aren't going to matter if this main goes down. If all the production goes down, either Foggy has to turn this into a base trade, which it looks like that might be what he's doing. But these mountain giants are not very healthy. And there's no, the main's down. They're not going to be a TP. There's not going to be any defense anymore. This is going to turn into a base race, which is why we see more trees of life being constructed. Curious if he's going to keep making trees at this point. I mean, he doesn't really have gold or wood for it. TPN from Happy. Happy does not want to lose his base. He doesn't want to throw this game away. He wants to be very, very safe. He knows he's won the fight. He knows he's killed the main. He really just has to make sure he doesn't make any big mistakes as far as losing the base trade goes. But this is also one of those features of Twisted Meadows which makes it very scary in this type of game. If you're the undead player, you know that there could be expansions literally everywhere. There's so many bases, so many locations to hide buildings. So this could spiral out of control for sure. Happy down to now, I mean, just the one base, this is what he has. So he's super far ahead army-wise. He can never ever lose a fight. But he could still actually lose this game, I feel. If he loses the base trade. Nice instant Nova here. Some extra experience. Archer kind of almost dying to the creeps there. And yeah, I mean, Foggy's just kind of hunting expansions. Wants to make sure there is no extra income. The gold mine is going to run out in about 2,000 gold. And Foggy's main job right now is to just not take a fight. Don't run into the army, just try and kill acolytes, buildings. Be annoying, set up future expansions like this one right here. See if he's trying to construct. I mean, he really is wood starved here. He has to get that shredder right here. There it is. So as soon as this returns a couple of times, he can definitely start spreading out trees of life, and that's what he's really investing in here. You see he's banking up that gold. There's really no point making units at this point. He's just gonna make tree of life after tree of life after tree of life. Perhaps try and invest into the Zeppelin, Sappers, just win with pure base trade. But Happy is not going to let that happen too easily. He's very, very wisely scouting the perimeter constantly here. He does have that unholy aura. He's very, very quick. Foggy just checking expansions. Happy also checking expansions. Not sure if he knew about this one, but he does now at least. So this, I mean, this is another expansion, and this is very reminiscent of the game of Foggy against Blade on Turtle Rock, if you saw that, where Blade could never ever lose a fight, but Foggy just did not take a fight. He kept laming, kept killing buildings, kept running away, kept expanding. It's looking very much like that game. And let me tell you, this is a very difficult style to play as the Night Elf. It's not easy on your macro to really constantly spread out these expansions, constantly keep up production. There's a lot of multitasking involved. So this might look, some might see this as kind of dishonorable to go for this type of play now, but realistically, in a competitive game, if Foggy wants to win this game, this is the only way he can do it. So he's doing what he can to win. And there's not much more to say than that. Oh, classic Happy Micro getting the Fiend's Crown, but there's a staff. So the next step really for Foggy, it would be great if he could actually get some tier 2 going, which yeah, he is teching towards. If he can get lures and more giants out, he can actually feasibly, go for just mass giants and right-click buildings. There's a ton of piercing and magic damage for Happy, not a lot of normal damage, so even with the Corruption Orb, it's very hard to kill the giants. Great multitasking here. Demon Hunter going on Acolyte Hunt. With a Staff of Teleportation, he can just go back and heal with those Moonwells. Actually use a TP. He knew that a coil could kill him. Happy doing kind of the same thing, spreading out, using his Tinker as a solo expedition here, just hunting expansions with that Pocket Factory. And as a response, Foggy, with the staff here, is using his Keeper as a Tinker defense, just right-clicking that Pocket Factory. Repairing this building, not because it's going to survive, but just to make it survive longer, just make it more annoying for Happy to deal with this. Spamming repair while setting up more expansions. And running around with his ragtag band of triads and heroes. And see if we do see those lures go up anywhere. I think that's the only option. Yeah, there we go, lure. Like you could maybe go like glaives with zeppelins, maybe chims with corrosive, but Mountain Giants already have the upgrades, so he doesn't have to go tier 3 to build them, but he's going to do it anyway. So this is going to be his plan. Giants and kill buildings. And expand as much as he can. And deny expansions as much as he can. Because the gold mine has run out now for Happy. He's actually been macking a fair bit, so he's not poor by any means, but he only has that one source of income right now, and it's going to get scouted again. And there's no Necropolis, so anything that goes down here and starts harassing, it's just going to be there and kill all the Acolytes. It's very easy to lose your cool here if you're the undead player in this situation. You can get frustrated. You have to stay level-headed. You have to make the right moves. Which Happy is doing, he's ignoring the rest of these buildings. He's just going for the mains, and he's definitely probably going to kill these lures if he comes across them, because he knows these lures equals more giants, which he cannot afford to deal with. Nice cancel there from Foggy. One does go up, going straight for the Tree of Ages. And again, Foggy can't defend this at all, so he's just trying to do what he can. Looks like he wants to get like some sappers or something, but these creeps aren't actually crept, so he has to drag them out first, which is actually hard to do with Ensnare. And now Foggy is down to 2 bases, and all of his production was over here, so this is actually a really huge deal, losing this expansion. Not sure where the Keeper is right now, though. Did the Keeper die and I missed it? No, there it is, okay. Triple Sapper, yeah. So this is Foggy's last hope. Triple Sapper, but there's already this expansion. It didn't actually go down, but there's a new one on the way. This is Happy's savior right here. Even if Sappers kind of messed this all up, which Happy is not going to allow. He's going to TP in and just actually staff him and Nova those Sappers. Excellent move. And that has to be checkmate. Foggy is still really rich though. He could maybe feasibly keep building trees and stuff like that, but Demon does go down. Here's the real TP. And a counter TP from Foggy. Ah, he sees. I think this is what might seal the deal. GG. So he scouts the additional expansion here that he maybe wasn't aware of and realizes, okay, it's over. There's no way I can kill the main, what's left in the main, and deal with the expansion. I'm down to just my Keeper. I have no units. All I have is a lot of money, but no way to spend it really. And at that point, the difference in army was just so big that even if he started spreading trees again and again, they would be found out and they would be cancelled before they go up. And as long as they don't actually go up, they die really, really quick. But yeah, pretty cool game. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you for the next one. So goodbye for now.